Do you have a blood pressure problem? And is it causing you anxiety? If so, you need to watch this video where I'll be telling you how you can get rid of that anxiety about your blood pressure really quickly and easily. Hi, my name is Paul Hunter and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist here at Cork Hypnosis Clinic, where I help people with all forms of anxiety, and in this case, anxiety about a health condition that you have, like blood pressure. Typically for most people, blood pressure anxiety starts off very simply. Maybe you go to your GP and they look and say to you, oh, your blood pressure is a little bit elevated. And you are maybe surprised by that. Then maybe you start checking it at home. And maybe after a while you get a bit concerned that some of those readings are coming back quite high. After a while, that interest becomes a fixation. And now you are fixated on your blood pressure and concerned every time you get a high reading. Maybe you do that thing, the sitting in the waiting room of the doctors thinking, oh my God, what if it's high again? And just that thought alone is enough to actually raise your blood pressure. So now when you do go into the doctor, you get a high reading. As I said, doctors know about this response. It's called white coat syndrome. In other words, as you're sitting there in the waiting area, you're worried about, will it be higher? This creates a physical anxiety in your body, which leads on to having an actual high reading, which causes even more worry. So it creates a negative loop of worry in your mind. And I'm not sure if you do this, but if you get a high blood pressure reading, do you automatically think, oh my God, maybe I'm at higher risk of getting a heart attack? Or what if I get a stroke? Or maybe suffer some long-term damage from having high blood pressure? And of course, Dr. Google doesn't tend to make it any better, because you see all those worst case scenarios and that really sets the alarm bells ringing in your mind. As with any form of anxiety, we really shouldn't be feeling anxiety regularly. Anxiety is meant to be a thing that you create at a moment of real threat to your life or to your health. And typically those things are only meant to happen a number of times during your life, not constantly every day. So when you're creating anxiety about this problem, now you're starting to pump out more adrenaline, more cortisol, the stress hormone, and all of that anxiety keeps you on high alert all the time and starts to change your relationships with loved ones, starts to change your ability to have peace of mind. It starts to change your leisure time. It starts to change what you think about all the time. But luckily, there is some good news. The therapy that I particularly use, which is hypnotherapy, is fantastic for calming both your mind and your body. And when you go into the state of hypnosis, it feels like as if you're halfway between full alert awareness and sleep. It feels for most people like as if they're in a daydream state. In that daydream state, your body calms down. You reduce the production of adrenaline, you reduce the production of cortisol. Your body feels much better, more at peace. And the same happens in your mind. Your mind and all that busy stuff that your conscious mind does, all that thinking, all that worrying, just tends to calm down. And then we can get access to your unconscious mind, the very root of the problem, that part of your mind that stores all of those incorrect beliefs and incorrect strategies that cause this problem. And we can change them. So Once we understand the belief that's driving it, we can change that belief to a healthier belief. Then we can change the loop of response that happens. In other words, the anxiety response, we can change that into something nicer. Like, for instance, maybe automatically thinking of something else the moment that you try to worry about your health. And then give you some long-term suggestions that tell you that you remain calm for the vast majority of things. You become healthily skeptical. So if somebody says, oh my God, you could have such and such a problem, immediately you think, nah, it couldn't be that. No, I'll get it checked out, but I'm not going to worry about it. So you develop that healthier relationship with those signs and signals that you get from your body. And just imagine they're all pretty routine, they're all pretty normal, and there really is very little for you to worry about. And similar to any habit that you've ever successfully overcome, when you stop doing that habit, it starts to lose its power. You start to lose interest in it. And pretty soon you realize you haven't done it for quite a while, and the new habit has taken over. It's similar in your mind. Once you do this new habit of thinking, this new healthier loop of thinking, for a while, the old loop of thinking loses its power, and it just simply never comes to mind anymore, leaving you to enjoy much more peace of mind. And just to be really clear here, hypnotherapy may not change your blood pressure readings, but it will change your anxiety about them and make you calmer, which should lead to a better outcome blood pressure wise, but obviously that can't be guaranteed. It's the anxiety that we're targeting, not the blood pressure itself. So if anything I've said resonates with you and you think, yeah, I think he could help me, well, why not click on the link in the description just below this YouTube video. That'll take you to the blood pressure page on my website, where you'll find some more information, some more resources, and most importantly, ways in which you can contact me to schedule an appointment if you wish.